ugly side of separation and divorce. You miss every single ounce of them, and you don't know what to do.
Welcome back, family. Today, before we start, I will be addressing the AI concern regarding the lawyer I mentioned in my last video. I indeed got a lot of hate on my previous video. But this is a message for the family and friends who had some concerns about whether I am starting to use AI-generated clips on purpose. The short answer is no. The voice of the lawyer from my last video sounded so mushy because I had to remove the piano background to avoid a copyright strike. When you watch the original version with the piano, it sounds good and real.
Women leave their husbands for the stupid, actually legit reasons for divorce. These women outgrew him. Husbands is genuinely depressing that they actually made the wrong, most self-goal disadvantage. Oh, let me only see more likely to drop out of school. Use every single code to make their self. When women win the lottery, they tend to divorce.
I will link the original video to the description so that you guys can judge for yourself. It might be AI generated or not. Some subs went as far as concluding that even the Asian girl was an AI generated video.
I turned 40, and these are things that I would not do at 24, and we got married when I was 29. At the time, realized was in the 4 years that we were married, I grew my own business. I just became such a different person when I said yes. If I could do it again, I would have allowed me, but it was more about the direction that I wanted my partner for, the version of me that was to come.
I also removed the background music on the Asian girl clip for copyright purposes. You guys know my dedication and the hard work I put in every video I produce. I can never use an AI-generated clip, knowing from the jump that it is AI. I talk about real-life stories, and that is not going to change. We built this channel together from scratch, so this isn't just a channel. You guys are my family, and we have to keep spreading the message so that more men can be informed of what is really going on. I will delete the previous video as soon as this video reaches 25,000 views. So family, please help a brother out. Today, we are going to review modern women who regret divorcing their husbands because they believe that they are better than them. But before enjoying some tears of regret, let's listen to some wise words from 45 years of experience of a divorce lawyer. I apologize in advance for the mushy sound of the lawyer's voice. I had to remove the background music.
Women leave their husbands for the stupidest and dumbest reasons I have ever heard of my life. Very few times have I heard actually legit reasons for divorce, and I thought about the most common reason that I get for leaving. The father of your children or their husband, and it is that these women outgrew him. The amount of women that I have met that casually destroyed their entire families because they outgrew their husbands is genuinely depressing. And what you typically get from the modern mothers that are coping and can't accept the fact that they actually made the wrong, most selfish decision that they have ever made in their life. Oh, let me just put my kid at every statistical disadvantage. Oh, let me only see both of my parents half the time in the month. Oh, let me make my kid more likely to run away from home, more likely to drop out of school, and more likely to be abused because of my feelings of outgrowing him. It's so funny. Women are so self-centered that they use every single cope to make their selfish decision. Not sound like a selfish decision. You know, it's funny. When women win the lottery, they tend to divorce their husbands. When men win the lottery, they tend to stay.
Men usually sacrifice their happiness for their family, but women do sacrifice their family for their happiness most of the time. Men usually provide for women without having a second thought about whether they are going to get their money back or not. This next video will show you a woman that literally divorced her husband after he helped her level up. For the mushy voice of this woman, I also had to remove the background music on this clip too.
I turned 40, and these are things that I would not do again in my 20s and 30s. I would not get married. I met my husband when I was 24, and we got married when I was 29. At the time, I thought that this was like the ideal situation. I'm at the perfect age to get married. But what I realized was in the 4 years that we were married, I grew so much as a person. I graduated from business school, started my own business. I just became such a different person that I didn't feel like he was the best fit for me anymore. And I don't think I could have realized that at 29 when I said yes. If I could do it again, I would have allowed myself to have so much more growth in my life before I made a decision on a life partner. And it's really nothing against that partner specifically, but it was more about the direction that I wanted my life to take. My interests by 35 were unrecognizable to my younger self. And I don't think it would have been fair for me to take him on this journey if I didn't think that he was the right partner for the version of me that was to come.
This is what most modern women do. For the moment, they feel that they are superior to you. They leave. It doesn't matter what you did for them in the past. All they think about is, what have you done for me lately? Because women are hypergamous, they always want better and better and better. That is why you always have to focus on yourself first. Remember very well what the lawyer said. When women win the lottery, they divorce their husbands. But when men win the lottery, they stay. As we all know, karma is a bitch. So it doesn't take long for these women to realize that men are not only walking wallets. Check it out.
I don't know how else to document things, but this is the ugly side of separation and divorce. When you don't truly understand what is going on, when you are stepping into a new career, and the person that is supposed to be your person is not there to tell you how happy they are for you and how proud they are for your first day. When you can't stop crying because you miss their touch, you miss their sarcasm, you miss everything about them, you miss their smell in the mornings, you miss their go grab a Red Bulls, you miss every single ounce of them. And you don't know what to do. But this is day one of my journey of being a 40-year-old, newly licensed registered nurse who worked her butt off to get here, that is also going to go through a divorce from the person that she thought she was going to spend all of eternity with. So please don't judge if you see me out today and I can't stop crying, or if you ask me how I'm doing and I don't have an answer, because I don't know how I am. I know that I feel empty and I feel hollow, and I am trying my best.
They all realize how important their husbands were once they are gone. She can feel his absence now. You don't just leave a marriage because you are feeling some type of way at the moment. Emotions change every day. These women destroy years of marriage for no solid reasons, and then come to cry on the internet for sympathy. So many relationships end as soon as the woman gets a promotion or starts to make more money than her man. Men usually elevate women to a better standard of living, but it is never the other way around. But mark my words when I tell you that most women who divorce their husbands regret leaving their men because they never find anyone better than him in most cases. Let's watch.
Do women regret leaving men? Absolutely. But not all women. These are the women who regret it. And usually it's the women who have gone off and had affairs, because that is the wrong way to deal with the problems. If your husband is ignoring you, if your husband is constantly fighting with you, whatever the reason, turning to seek solace with someone else doesn't actually solve the problem. And then what women typically tend to do, because they're far more emotional than men, when they start an affair, the dopamine kicks in and they imagine they're in love with this new man and they just want to be with him. So then they make the huge mistake. They don't properly think it through. Logic flies out the window. They decide they're going to leave their husband, and in their head they're moving on with the new man. But neither man is interested in that new scenario. So the husband may try to convince her to stay at first. She will then leave, anticipating that the new man is there waiting for her. And frequently he's not. He disappears. I've seen people where the day the woman left, the lover left, and the shock. So then there's a double whammy, because the wife is left thinking, what do I do now? And she doesn't even know what she wants. So that takes time to settle down. By the time she's processed her emotions and realised what a huge mistake she's made, her husband's not ready to forgive her. Plus, in that scenario, they haven't actually focused and dealt with the issues in the relationship which caused it to break down in the first place. So, yes, women do regret leaving their husbands, but it's usually the ones who are shopping for something better. The ones who leave their husbands because they're abusive, because they're addictive, because the husbands have had affairs, because basically they've been treated like a doormat. No, they don't regret it. They have a huge sense of relief. But the ones who throw away something good when a rocky patch hits because they anticipate they're moving on and up, typically that goes very badly wrong.
This is the harsh reality that most modern women don't want to admit on social media. Very few women can find someone better than their husband. It is almost non-existent. These divorced women confuse the sexual attention they get from men with attention that leads to a committed relationship. They usually realize that most men don't actually want to be in a serious relationship with them very late, and by the time it happens, they've already destroyed their family. All they are good for now is a quick pump and dump. In modern times, you have to know the real risks when you decide to include a woman in your world. You have to know that she is not yours. It is just your turn most of the time. You always have to exhibit the abundance mindset at all times. Never put women on a pedestal, because if you treat her like a star, she will treat you like a fan. Know your value, and make sure that you keep moving forward with or without a woman. So when you see these modern women crying on TikTok, just know that it is probably a self-inflicted wound. It is very unfortunate that the government is incentivizing these women to leave their marriage by paying them with all these benefits they get when they divorce. Believe me when I say that if the government updates the law around child support, alimony, and other family court laws, we are going to have very few to no divorces. So fellas, never forget to protect yourself at all times against these types of women. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow. I love you, and I appreciate you for all your support. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share to help push this content to more men in need. I'm out. Peace.